What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the channel today. I thought last night after the very, very brief 1 minute or less post-game video I did for the Wild Habs game that would be my last video before heading to Buffalo for the game tomorrow, which I will be at, as I've mentioned to many of you guys over the last week or so. All right, so, the Habs changed my mind and made me want to do a video today. So they have acquired a defenseman, a left-shot defenseman, Nicolas Boudin from the Chicago Blackhawks, in exchange for forward Cam Hillis, who will be going to the Chicago Blackhawks, basically a quick one-for-one deal. And the main thing I thought they were going to bring Beaudin over was for maybe to alleviate some pressure on the power. Well, not pressure, but to help the Canadiens' power play. As we know, it's not been very good. They've only converted once in the whole season so far. So this probably will happen until Mike Matheson returns, which we know he'll be out at least another 7 weeks or so. So makes sense why they made this move, because clearly it's not clicking very well in the power play right now. So the Habs are going to bring in Nicolas Boudin. We're going to pull up his stats in a second just to give you a quick little look at him. And then Cam Hillis mentioned going the other way. Wasn't really able to crack even the Laval Rocket roster was Cam Hillis. So Beaudin, let's pull him up. And in fact, we'll even do a little screen share just to take a look at his statistics. And let's take a look at him. Let's take a look. So actually, this is Cam Hillis. You know what? Let's look at Cam first, because we want to see what's going the other way. So he was a centerman that shoots right, drafted by the Canadiens in the 3rd round in 2018, 66th overall. He actually is a former teammate of Nick Suzuki's. So that's actually an interesting little tidbit for us as Habs fans, just so that we know a little bit about him. But he was somebody who had decent numbers. He had a breakout year in the OHL. 83-point season in 62 games with the Guelph Storm, 24 goals, 59 assists. This guy was part of the Guelph Storm championship team when Nick Suzuki was on it. So, but clearly right now the Habs are, I wouldn't say loaded at center, but they are definitely very full at center. So that makes a lot of sense in terms of why they moved him out in this situation. He played 18 games with the Rocket in 21, and then 21-22 played 24 games. He wasn't even able to crack the Laval Rocket roster. So again, he's in the ECHL right now. But as far as Nicolas Boudin, who we're going to look at next, let's take a look at him, because I feel like based on his numbers, it's clear that they're going to at least make an attempt to have him help the Habs power play while Mike Matheson is still recovering from injury. So let's look at Nicolas Boudin. He's a Chateauguay, Quebec native. That's actually where one of my family members live, just outside of Montreal. 23 years old, defenseman, shoots left, 5'11", listed at 168 on HockeyDB right now. He was a first rounder. Nick Beaudin was a first rounder from the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2018 NHL entry draft. So both Hillis and Beaudin coming from the same draft class. First round pick, 27th overall for Nicolas Boudin with the Chicago Blackhawks. He's somebody that folks may be familiar with from the QMJHL, where he had some pretty decent years and put up decent numbers as a defenseman, which we know it's junior hockey, but he had a point total of 69. That was his career high in the Q in 2017-2018 with the Drummondville Voltigeurs. I'm probably saying that wrong. But 12 goals, 57 assists. And then his last season in the Q, 7 goals, 49 assists for 56 points in those 53 games. But again, career high numbers, 69 points in 68 games, almost a point per game pace or more in 2017-2018. He's played 22 games in the NHL so far, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points in those 22 games. Currently playing with the Rockford Ice Hogs in the AHL. That's the Blackhawks AHL affiliate right now. 2 goals, 14 assists. Last season, 16 points in 66 games with the Rockford Ice Hogs in 21-22. Plus minus right now with the Ice Hogs in 3 games just so far this season. He's a -1 with 1 assist. So, Nicolas Boudin, based on these numbers, we can safely assume, at least from my side of things anyway, that they're likely going to bring him in to try to help the Habs power play before Mike Matheson gets back. And I think that makes perfect sense based on the fact that the Canadiens power play has been pretty abysmal so far this season. In this same transaction, or right around it, Corey Schoeneman, left-hand defenseman, 27 years old, has been assigned to the Laval Rockets. So we know that he's going to go back and hopefully get a lot more. I mean, he wasn't getting any playing time. He hasn't played a single game with the Canadiens this season. He's been a healthy scratch for all 7 games so far. So that being said, Corey Schoeneman assigned to the Laval Rocket. Yoel Armia and Joel Edmondson are still practicing in non-contact jerseys, but they will be accompanying the Canadiens on their 4-game road trip starting in Buffalo. So that is good news, especially the fact that we could use Edmondson back I wouldn't mind seeing what Armia can do with guys that are really not performing too well on the forward group in the bottom six for the Canadiens, i.e. Mike Hoffman. Rem Pitlick isn't doing much. Dadonov hasn't put up anything. So I'm looking forward to getting Armia back just to see what we can get. We know what we can get from him. He's the puck protecting guy that we know that he is. Strong board work and all that kind of stuff, but he can put up numbers. So I want to see Armia back soon. Now here's the big question for me as a Habs fan, as I got my Slavkovsky jersey on right now. Will he play in Buffalo, or will he play at some point during the road trip? As we know that he was practicing with the Canadiens again today, which is a good sign. I couldn't get clarification 100% on if Slav was in a non-contact jersey today, although I did see from Grant McKegg today on Twitter that he was. However, on Twitter, on the Canadiens website, it specifically said that Armia and Edmondson were in non-contact jerseys today. They did not clarify that Slavkovsky was in a non-contact jersey or not. But that being said, we're going to find out. I would love to see him at least take the warm-up tomorrow in Buffalo and get a chance to at least consider having him in the lineup. I'd love to see him live again, even though I saw him in Montreal for the home opener. I would love to see him in Buffalo. Just be a fun night. And I want to wear his jersey. That's the biggest thing. I have Suzuki's that I can wear instead if Slav doesn't play. But I might have to bring both to the game because I don't know if Slav's going to make it into the lineup. All right, guys, let me know your comments down below about the transaction, which was the main topic of discussion for today, with Nick Beaudin coming in for the Canadiens and Cam Hillis going the other way. So give me your comments down below. Go ahead, have at it as always. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, you know what buttons to push. Very exciting updates coming. I just put a deposit down on my new camera. I'm really excited to bring it to this camera. Bring it to this channel. It's going to up the quality quite a bit. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it as always. Talk to you soon. And see you in Buffalo tomorrow. Ciao.